All right, guys, welcome to the Red Tape Podcast. I'm your host, Demarius Nelson. This is brought to you by For the One Media, where we move progressively forward in a conservative way. Oh, man, today is a day of remembrance, a memorial for those who lost their lives and those who are still losing their lives in service of and remembrance of the situation to protect our freedoms around the world. Today is a day of remembrance, guys. So as you get out and get ready for work, remember those who lost their lives on this day. This is the Red Tape Podcast.
Front lines, including a flight attendant on board a hijacked plane. We're going to start with her. Betty Ong. She was on board American Airlines Flight 11 at 8:19 a.m. Eastern Time. This is just about 27 minutes before that flight hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center. She called her colleagues on the ground. This is the first time that anyone outside those planes finds out what's going on. Let's listen to Betty Ong.
The cockpit's not answering. Somebody's stabbed in business class. And I think there's mates that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked.
Just 5 minutes later at 8:24 a.m. Eastern Time, just 22 minutes before impact on the North Tower, you hear the haunting voice of the lead hijacker, Mohammed Atta. Boston Air Traffic Control picks up his voice in the cockpit as he's talking to the passengers. Listen to Mohammed Atta.
Is that American 11 trying to call?
We have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're returning to the airport.
And who's trying to call me here? American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll danger yourself and the airplane. Just stay quiet.
Just incredible to hear the voice of the lead hijacker, Mohammed Atta. Now, just over half an hour later, at 9:02 a.m. Eastern Time, air traffic controllers trying to figure out what's going on with the second plane. This is United Airlines Flight 175. Follow the purple track here. It has already looped south of New York, heading north toward the South Tower of the World Trade Center, and two air traffic controllers practically narrate the impact. Take a listen.
Hey, can you look out your window right now? Yeah. Can you see a guy at about 4,000 feet, about 5 East Airport right now? Looks like he's...
Yeah, I see him.
You see a guy... Look, is he descending through the building also?
He's descending really quick too, yeah.
Well, that's...
2,500 feet now. He just dropped 800 feet in like one sweep.
That's another situation. What kind of airplane is that? Can you guys tell?
I don't know. I'll read it out in a minute. Another one just hit the building.
Wow. Another one hit it hard. Another one just hit the World Trade.
The whole building just came apart.
Holy smokes.
Take you forward to just about a half hour later, 9:28 a.m. Eastern Time. You've got air traffic control trying to track United Airlines Flight 93.
All right, guys, what's going on? Hey, you know what today is? 9/11. I play that audio because it's just significant to always remember the tragedies that we have. We can never forget, as America, as people, yes, we move on, we grow from it, we learn from it, we develop ways to eliminate or to thwart situations like this. But at the end of the day, we have to remember. It's important to remember everything that goes on in life, especially situations like this. It's hard. Nobody wants to do it, but it must be done. Because we all have to remember that the world is full of terror. There are a lot of evil people that want to harm, hurt, and annihilate all people in the world. There are some people, as I said yesterday, as I often say, that do want to watch the world burn and will do anything at all costs, even at the cost of themselves, to accomplish it, to create chaos. So as we come together today, as we think about 9/11, let's make sure we hold on, hold tight, pray for, and continue to love your loved ones, because you never know. Anything can happen in life. But I just think it's just crazy to think about when you look at, and you know what we're going to get today. We're going to see all the audio and the videos, and you want your children to remember. You want your children's children to remember and to know what happened on our earth, on our own ground, on American soil. Things can happen anywhere. So we have to be prepared at all times. You still want to enjoy life. You still want to embrace life, but we have to be prepared. So just make sure y'all today continue to pray for those people who lost their loved ones, because they're going to, with everything going on, all the memorial services, it's going to be flashbacks of what happened that day. And I'm going to talk about what happened to me that day. I had already enlisted in the Navy that summer. And I was supposed to go October 9th. I wanted to go after my sister's birthday so I can at least be there before I have to go to school and boot camp over the next few months. But over the time, as September 11th happened, I'm working in this store called Winn-Dixie. Now, y'all might not even be old enough to remember that, what Winn-Dixie was. It may be still around, I don't know. But in that moment, I thought about what was going on. I was sitting there as a cashier, and all of a sudden started seeing people run in and out of the store with their hands on their head, looking up in the sky, complete chaos. Some people are just discombobulated by seeing the first plane crash, and everything in that moment just seemed to pause. Everything seemed to slow down, like even slower than the Matrix. And I'm seeing people run in and out, and I still don't really know what's going on. But somebody cuts on the TV over there next to the customer service desk. And next thing you know, my phone's blowing up in my pocket. And I'm just like, something's not right. Somebody keep calling me. So I stepped off. Nobody's coming through at this point. Everybody's gravitated around the TV. Seeing the first plane go in, you hear a gasp. And then people scream. And then another gasp and people screamed again. And just complete terror in the world. And with the uncertainty, because of America, we don't necessarily see attacks on our soil. We don't get attacked on our own soil. So to see this happen and to see people, crying in tears, really confused, don't know what to think. They're like, I got to go pick up my kids. You have people saying, they say there's a plane that might hit Dallas. There's a plane that's trying to go to LA. There's a plane trying to go to New York. Really the scene reminds you of Independence Day. That's what I think about, the movie. And then all those aircraft, spaceships going over each city, ready to commence, to completely annihilate those areas. And that's what it felt like. I checked my phone. I see my mom calling. And, people were confused for a long time. People were confused. And that was a little bit of my story that day. It was much deeper than that. But that's the one thing that I wanted to share, because I wanted to let everybody know, as we think about today, as we think about 9/11, that we're all overcomers. We're all overcomers. So I'm going to read this Bible verse, because that's how we're going to do this. John 16:33, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. See, if Christ has overcome the world, you have to as well. If you don't believe in him, he's still your Father. When you do believe in him, it's a great thing, because you know where you are. You know that you're an overcomer. And I just want to remind us that America is an overcomer. And in this place and time in America, we are completely divided. We seem to be torn on our morality. We're torn on in our reasoning. We're torn in our inequalities. There's a lot of different things. But one thing that brings us together, but the most important thing during that time after the tragedy, was the warm hearts and minds that thought about each other and loved each other and loved and helped and supported and did all they could, probably for the next year, to bring comfort to each other I don't even know the crime rate at that time, but I can only imagine it was low. I should have looked that up. But it's the point that we have to remember that we're overcomers, and we do have to work together and love each other, because at any given time, it could be all over like this moment. And moments like this, I'm sure, will happen. Hopefully not on our grounds, but we do have service members still to this. I've been in the military since 2001, October 9th of 2001. And I still serve today on a part-time basis. But in another year, it'll be almost 20 years that I've been a part of the armed services. And it's something to think about. Like, time flies by. So while it's flying by, make sure you taking advantage of the opportunities. Make sure you loving those that you care about. Make sure you resolving those issues that you have with other people, because you never know. Now, I hate for this to be a somber moment on this podcast, but it's a necessary one, because I'm here, and the only reason why I'm here is to get you to think, to get you to open up your minds, to get you to love harder and love more and learn more and gain knowledge and figure out ways to help our world, to be better civilians, to be better people of this earth, because we have great things to do, and we're going to need each other to get it done. And we got to be able to fight the terrors that come our way, because one thing you do know is that it is coming. Hey guys, this is Red Tape Podcast. I'm Demarius Nelson, your host as always. This is brought to you by For the One Media, where we move progressively forward in the conservative way. If I haven't said anything to you guys that stick today, just remember to love and to let yourself be loved. A lot of us don't. And it hurts for people who want to love you, but they can't at times, because they know that it's hard to love you because you don't let anybody in. Let people in. Disappointments happen. People die. Things change. But one thing that is consistent and that sound is love. So enjoy it. Enjoy your day. Remember those who are lost. And continue to love everybody if you can. All right, guys. Peace.